Hey everybody, this is Mike Hagan. I want to talk to you today about one of my favorite lenses, this little Nikon 85mm f1.8. This lens I've been using for a number of years. I've been using it professionally. And one of the reasons I like it is because the price point is so low. In fact, the price point for this 85mm f1.8 is about 1/3 of the cost of the 85mm f1.4 from Nikon. So I want to talk about the specs with respect to this lens, talk about using it on a full frame camera, a DX sensor camera, and give you some important stuff that you can use when making your own purchase decision. So let's go through some of the specifications. You know, the first one, this is an AFS lens. AFS means a silent wave motor. So what that allows you to do is to manually override the focus here on the lens barrel during the autofocus process. That switch here on the side is the M/A switch. That's what allows you to do it. This lens does not have a VR function, so no VR capability, no image stabilization capability, but again, you kind of get what you pay for. You know, the price point on this is I've got it written down here, it's $477 compared to the f1.4 lens, which is almost $1,600. In fact, I just priced it at B&H Photo today, and it's at $1,500 or $1,596.95. So it's about 1/3 of the price of what you might call the Pro lens. It weighs about maybe 3/4 of a pound. So it's pretty small, pretty compact. Compare that to the f1.4 lens, which is about 1.25 pounds. So you save a full 1/2 pound with the less expensive lens. The autofocus is not super fast. In fact, if there's one thing that I would want to improve for a future model, would be the autofocus speed. Again, you get what you pay for in these lenses. So it's not like a sports lens. Like I wouldn't go out and photograph a sporting event with this, with someone running, jumping, you know, track and field, that type of thing, because it just won't focus quick enough for me. However, for portraiture, it's perfect. And that's what this lens was designed to be. It's designed to be a great portrait lens. So it's 85mm, and 85mm focal length is oftentimes what we call the sweet spot for a portrait lens. I use this lens all the time on my DX bodies. So here I've got the Nikon D500. This is an APS-C sensor, right? So it's a smaller sensor. So when I use the 85 on this lens, it's more like 130mm or 120mm, somewhere in that range. So you get a little more focal length. I love using it on my DX bodies because I get that longer reach. Speaking of the aperture, the f1.8 aperture, a lot of people want to know about that, the quality of the out of focus blurry area. Some people call that bokeh. The bokeh on the background is beautiful. It's not as creamy, buttery smooth as an f1.4 lens or even an f1.2 lens, but it is great. In fact, last week I shot some portraits with this lens out on a beach, and the portraits were spectacular. I loved it. In summary, I think there's 3 things that I love about this and 1 thing that I wish was improved. The 3 things I love: A, the price point, really good. B, the weight, the overall weight is fantastic. C, this is the 3rd thing, it's very sharp. It really is a very sharp lens. It's a professional quality lens that I can use in my job, in my business, and make money with. The 1 thing that I don't like, however, is the autofocus speed. I knew that going into it though. I knew it wasn't gonna focus as fast as the f1.4 lens, so I was okay with that. Overall, I love this lens. You know, in summary, it's a pro quality lens at 1/3 of the price of the true pro glass from Nikon. So 2 thumbs up for the Nikon 85mm f1.8.